Okay, late night, so of course I'm gonna talk about this. There have been people asking me to talk about this, and I should. And I should talk about this not necessarily because it's something that I feel that I want to, but because it's out there and this is gonna happen. Slava Voynov has been out of the league for a while. He's been in voluntary retirement since the LA Kings terminated his contract following domestic abuse charges, which he pleaded no contest to. He ended up serving some time in prison, and he is still with his wife. They're still together, and their lives have gone on. He's continued his career in the KHL. He's had some success internationally, of course, and now at the age of 28, he wants to come back to the NHL. July 2nd, he will apply to have the no contest plea removed from his record, which means that officially, if they grant that, he wouldn't have a criminal record. He can get a work visa in the U.S., and then he can be a hockey player for whatever team he wants. But he can't. The wrinkle in that is this. So let's say that a judge gives him this, and he may not. I mean, let's be honest. A judge may look at this and go, I'm not removing that. Probably does, but there's no guarantee until a judge actually says, yeah, I'm going to do that. So he gets the work visa. The Kings own his rights. He's 28 years of age. Even though they terminated his contract, the Kings own his rights. If he's going to play anywhere, he doesn't become an UFA. This isn't Kovalchuk. He's not a UFA if he comes back. The Kings own his rights. The Kings, I would imagine, don't want him back. So then the Kings are in a situation where they're saying to NHL teams, hey, got some baggage here. Who wants it? And there are going to be teams that will line up for it because he is a talented right-handed shot on the blue line. There will be teams who line up to bring him in. And there will be teams who look at his statistics and his abilities and say, you know what? It's more of a headache than I want right now. He's got some baggage. And my biggest concern would be Pierre Dorian picking up the phone and going, hey, we could use a guy like that here in Ottawa. That would be my biggest concern. Would be the Senators saying, we'll bring him in. And then that causing further problems in a locker room that is completely on fire. But I'm not kidding. And for anybody who says, oh, he's just kidding about that, I'm not. This is the kind of guy that, yeah, Ottawa might be looking at and going, geez, we need some help on our blue line. We can probably get him for less because, he's got this cloud over him. If we can get him in here and get him in with the roster, he may be a really nice guy, and he could be. Domestic. This is why I didn't want to talk about it. The whole domestic issue of this, it's tough because there are people who are capable of being very good coworkers, and they're very nice people, and then they go home to their families and they're not. And there are people who may be some of the most miserable people you've ever worked with, but when they go home, they're amazing to their family. They're good people. So I don't know what Voynov was like in the locker room. I can't speak on it. Kings players could. Kings management probably could, since these are guys who've been involved with the Kings for a long time. It will be very interesting to see what the Kings do. Because if all these legal hurdles get jumped over, he's already met with Bettman, and the word is from Elliot Friedman that he will be suspended when he returns to the league. So this isn't just Voynov comes back into the league and the league goes, all right, here you are, you're back. They would give him a stigma attached to a suspension as well. So that if you're an owner or a GM and you're saying, well, maybe we can get that guy, you're getting a guy who's probably not playing with you to start the year, and that it is going to be known by your fan base that he's not joining your team because of something he did 4 years ago. And it is one of those tricky things. Because I don't know Voynov. I don't know if Slava Voynov is a good guy who made a mistake, or if he's a bad guy that is, yeah, this is not a happy topic. I do know that if I was a GM, I wouldn't touch him. I wouldn't. I'd look for some other route to fix my blue line if I needed to. If I was a GM for the Kings, I wouldn't entertain bringing him back under the circumstances. and I might just move him out for, I might even move his rights before July 2nd, before he's even legally allowed in. So the way that would work would be this. Hey, I heard you wanted Voynov. I'll just say Cleveland. You Cleveland Barons, you guys want Voynov, right? Yep. All right. We'll trade you the rights to him now. And we'll make it a trade for a 4th round draft pick. Okay? But if he is legally allowed to work in the States and you guys get a contract worked out with him, that 4th rounder becomes a 2nd, and we want a prospect that we'll agree upon at that time. GM goes, all right, that makes sense to me. His rights are gone. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's an uncomfortable topic, isn't it? This has been an uncomfortable postseason and off-season, and it continues. Boy, what I wouldn't give for some Marchand licking videos right now, because at least those are entertaining and fun. Not great hockey topics, but they're fun and they're hilarious. This is less so. But let me know what you guys think is going to happen with Voynov. I can't see him playing for these guys again. I wore this because I thought, you know what? I can't wear another team's jersey because the fan base is going to be like, wait, you think he's going there? And I don't want to send out that vibe. And his rights, still legally right now, belong to the Kings. So it's a Kings jersey I went with. And we'll see where his rights are. I would say if he's allowed to play again on the 2nd, and the NHL figures out that, yeah, they're going to reinstate him and he gets his work visa, I would think his rights will be moved by the middle of July. But it could drag on into September. I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think the Kings would let that drag on. But let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just hit this video by accident or just browsing your way through. Stick around, and I'll talk to you again soon.